There are some games I love because they are fun, some because they are polished, and then there are the rare ones that hit me in a way I never forget. The kind of games where I genuinely wish I could wipe my memory and go back in fresh, just to feel that magic all over again. On Nintendo Switch, that feeling hits even harder because being able to take these worlds anywhere makes them stick with me even more. This list is all about those unforgettable first-time experiences. Some shocked me, some broke my heart, and some completely pulled me into their worlds for days. These are 10 Nintendo Switch games I seriously wish I could discover again for the very first time. Outer Wilds is one of those games I can never truly replay the same way, and that is exactly why it belongs here. The first time I played it, I had no idea what I was getting into. I just started exploring, following strange clues, landing on weird planets, and slowly realizing this game was doing something special. Every discovery felt personal, like I had earned it with my own curiosity. That is the magic of Outer Wilds. It trusts me to figure things out, and that makes every revelation hit so much harder. The atmosphere, the music, the mystery, it all comes together in a way that stuck with me for a long time. Once you know the answers, you can never unknow them. That first journey is pure lightning in a bottle, and I would love to feel it again. The original Red Dead Redemption gave me that rare feeling where I knew pretty early on I was playing something I would never forget. Riding through that world for the first time, meeting its strange characters, and slowly getting pulled into John Marston's story was incredible. What really got me was how natural everything felt. The world had this dusty, lonely beauty to it, and every ride across the map gave me time to soak it all in. Then there is the story, which only gets stronger the deeper you go. John is one of those characters who feels real, and by the end, the emotional payoff hits hard. Experiencing that ending for the first time was something special, and I do not think any replay can fully match that first shock. It is one of Rockstar's most unforgettable games easily. NieR Automata completely surprised me the first time I played it. At first, I thought I was getting a stylish action game with cool combat and a strong soundtrack, and to be fair, it absolutely delivers that. But the deeper I got, the more I realized this game had way more going on under the surface. The story keeps evolving, the characters become more layered, and the game starts asking bigger questions in a way I did not expect at all. It is one of those experiences where every new route adds more meaning, and suddenly the whole thing becomes much bigger than it first seemed. The music alone is unforgettable, but it is the emotional weight that really stayed with me. I would love to feel that slow realization again, where the game opens up and reveals what it is truly trying to say. Subnautica is one of the best examples of a game that made me feel wonder and fear at the same time. The first few hours are amazing because I went from thinking this ocean looks beautiful to realizing there is something deeply terrifying hiding underneath it. That shift is what makes the experience so special. Every dive felt exciting because I never knew what I was going to find next. Sometimes it was a new resource, sometimes a breathtaking biome, and sometimes something that made me want to turn around immediately. Survival games usually hook me with progression, but Subnautica did more than that. It made exploration feel personal and genuinely tense. Building up my base, going deeper, and piecing together what happened in that world was unforgettable. I would honestly love to relive that first descent into the unknown all over again. Inscryption is the kind of game I cannot talk about too much without ruining what makes it great, and that says a lot by itself. The first time I played it, I thought I understood what it was. I saw the card battles, the creepy cabin, the strange atmosphere, and figured I had the whole picture. I absolutely did not. That first playthrough is full of surprises, and every time the game shifts, it completely changes how you look at everything that came before. It is smart, unsettling, funny in weird ways, and way more creative than most games out there. Even if someone is not usually into card games, I still think Inscryption can grab them because it is doing so much more than just deck building. The feeling of discovering its tricks for the first time is incredible, and I would love to go in blind again. For For this one, I am mostly talking about Black Flag because that game absolutely carried me away the first time I played it. There is just something about becoming a pirate in that world that hits immediately. Sailing across the ocean, hearing the crew sing, spotting enemy ships in the distance, and jumping into naval battles made me feel completely locked in. I liked the assassin side of the game, sure, but if I am being honest, it was the pirate fantasy that made this one unforgettable. Exploring islands, hunting for treasure, upgrading the jackdaw, and just letting the sea pull me toward the next adventure felt amazing. On Switch, having all of that in handheld form made it even cooler. The first playthrough felt like pure freedom, and I would love to experience that sense of adventure again from the very beginning.
They're tearing her to pieces! Do something! Fire! Screws up! Taser sticks!
Hogwarts Legacy hit me hard because for the first time in a long time, I felt like a game really let me live inside that fantasy world. Walking through Hogwarts for the first time was easily one of my favorite moments in gaming. The castle feels huge, detailed, and packed with little touches that make it feel alive. I kept getting distracted, and honestly, that was part of the magic. I would head toward one objective, then suddenly end up exploring a hidden room or just staring at the moving paintings. Outside the castle, the world has plenty to do, but Hogwarts itself was the real hook for me. It felt like the dream version of being a student there. That first run is hard to beat because once the wonder of simply being in that world wears off, you can never fully get that exact feeling back again. Breath of the Wild is one of the easiest picks for a list like this. The first time I stepped into Hyrule and realized the game would let me go almost anywhere, it felt unbelievable. I still remember seeing something strange in the distance and just heading toward it with no real plan, only to find a shrine, a hidden puzzle, or some random moment that turned into a memory. That freedom is what made my first playthrough so special. The game constantly rewards curiosity, and it does it in such a natural way that exploration never feels forced. I loved the quiet moments just as much as the big ones. Whether I was climbing a mountain, gliding at sunset, or barely surviving a fight I should not have won. That sense of discovery on a first playthrough is almost impossible to recreate. The Witcher 3 is one of those games where the first time through feels massive in the best possible way. I remember being pulled in almost immediately by the world, the characters, and the way even side quests felt important. That is what makes this game so hard to top. It is not just big, it is rich. Every town, every conversation, every monster contract feels like it matters. The first time I played it, I kept thinking I would do one more quest, and then suddenly hours were gone. Geralt is such a strong lead, and the world around him feels messy, believable, and full of stories worth chasing. Then you add in moments like exploring Skellige or getting lost in Novigrad, and it becomes even more unforgettable. I would love to feel that first dive into this world again with no idea how deep it really goes. BioShock the Collection is here because the first time I entered Rapture, I knew I was stepping into something special. That opening is still one of my favorites ever. The descent, the reveal, the atmosphere, it all pulls me in immediately. What makes BioShock so unforgettable is how strong its world feels. Rapture is not just a setting, it feels like a fallen dream, and exploring it for the first time is incredible. Every room, every audio log, every enemy encounter adds to that sense that something went very wrong here. Then there is the story, which hits even harder once the bigger reveals start landing. The whole experience has this perfect mix of action, tension, and mystery. Even with the full collection on Switch, that first trip into BioShock stands above the rest for me. I would love to discover Rapture again with fresh eyes. So yeah, these are 10 Nintendo Switch games I seriously wish I could erase from my memory and experience again for the first time. They are not just great games, they are the kind that leave a mark on you, the kind you keep thinking about long after the credits roll. And honestly, that first time magic is one of the best things about gaming. Let me know which Switch game you would love to experience again for the first time, because I know everybody has that one game that hit different.